Assalamu alaikum students. This is your teacher Muhammad Umar Khatak for the subject Project Management. And this is our 19th lecture and we'll be starting chapter number 5. And today the topic of our discussion is the project in the organizational structure. Project in the organizational structure. A firm, if successful, tends to grow, adding resources and people, developing an organizational structure. Commonly, the focus of the structure is specialization of the human elements of the group. As long as its organizational structure is sufficient to the tasks imposed on it, the structure tends to persist. When the structure begins to inhibit the work of the firm, the pressures arise to reorganize along some other line. The underlying principle will still be specialization, but the specific nature of specialization will be changed. Any elementary management textbook covers the common basis of specialization. In addition to the ever popular functional division, firms organize by product line, by geographic location, by production processes, by type of customer, by subsidiary organization, by time, and by the elements of vertical or horizontal integration. Indeed, large firms frequently organize by several of these methods at different levels. For example, a firm may organize by major subsidiaries at the top level. The subsidiaries organize by product groups, and the product groups organize into customer divisions. These in turn may be split into functional departments that are further broken down into production process sections, which are set up as 3-shift operating units. In the past decade or so, a new kind of organization structure has appeared in growing numbers. The project organization, aka enterprise project management, also known as managing organization by projects, the project-oriented firm, and other names. Such organizations have been described as applying project management practices and tools across an enterprise. The source of these organizations is probably in the software industry that has long made a practice of developing major software application programs by decomposing them into a series of comparatively small software projects. Once the projects are completed, they are integrated into a whole application system. A great many firms, both software and non-software firms alike, have now adopted a system whereby their traditional business is carried out in the traditional way, but anything that represents a change is carried out as a project. One hospital, for example, operates the usual departments in what for them are the usual ways. At the same time, the hospital supports several dozen projects oriented towards developing new healthcare products or changing various aspects of standard medical and administrative methods. There are many reasons for rapid growth of project-oriented organizations, but most of them can be submitted into 4 general areas. First, speed and market responsiveness have become absolute requirements for successful competition. It is no longer competitively acceptable to develop a new product or service using traditional methods in which the potential new product is passed from functional area to functional area until it is deemed suitable for production and distribution. First to market is a powerful competitive advantage. Further, in many industries, it is common and necessary to tailor products specifically for individual clients. Suppliers of hair care products or cosmetics, for example, may supply individual stores in a drug chain with different mixes of products depending on the purchase patterns, ethnic mix of customers, and local style preferences for each store. Second, the development of new products processes, or services regularly requires inputs from diverse areas of specialized knowledge. Unfortunately, the exact mix of specialists appropriate for the design and development of one product or service is rarely suitable for another product or service. Teams of specialists that are created to accomplish their ad hoc purpose and disband typify the entire process. Third, the rapid expansion of technological possibilities in almost every area of enterprise tends to destabilize the structure of organizations. Consider communications, entertainment, banks, consumer product manufacturing, and sales, the automotive industry, aircraft manufacture, heavy electrical equipment, machine, tools, and so forth, without end. Mergers, downsizing, reorganizations, spin offs, new marketing channels, and some other similar major disturbances all require system wide responsiveness from the total organization. Again, no traditional mechanism exists to handle change on such a large scale satisfactorily, but the project organization can. Finally, a large majority of senior managers we know rarely feel much confidence in their understanding of and control over a great many of the activities going on in their organization. The hospital mentioned above became a project oriented organization because its new CEO strongly felt that she had no way of understanding, measuring, or controlling anything going on in the hospital except for the most routine traditional activities. Transforming non routine activities into projects allowed her to ensure that accountability was established. Projects were properly planned, integrated with other related activities, and reported routinely on their progress. Moving from non project environment to one in which projects are organized and used to accomplish special tasks to a full fledged project oriented organization presents senior management of a firm with extraordinarily difficult transition. A full treatment of this subject is beyond the scope of the book, but several observations are in order. First, the process is time consuming. Even when the required resources are available and senior management is fully committed to the transition, it is still an arduous process. Our experience indicates that when all goes well, the transition rarely requires less than 3 years. Whether organization is conducting a few occasional projects or is fully project oriented and carrying on scores of projects anytime a project is initiated, three organizational issues immediately arise. First, a decision must be made about how to tie the project to the parent firm. Second, a decision must be made about how to organize the project itself. Third, a decision must be made about how to organize the activities that are common to other projects. First, we will look at the three major organizational forms commonly used to house projects and see how each of them fits into the parent organization. We examine the advantages and disadvantages of each form and discuss some of the critical factors that might lead us to choose one form over the other. To our knowledge, it is rare for a project manager to have much influence over the interface between the organization and the project. Choice of interface usually being made by senior management. The project manager's work, however, is strongly affected by the project structure, and the project manager should understand its working. Experienced project managers do seem to mold the project organizations to fit their notions of what is best. One project team member of our acquaintance remarked at length about how different life was on two projects, both matrix organized, run by different project managers. Study of the subtle impacts of the project manager on project structure deserves more attention from researchers in the behavioral sciences. Project as a part of functional organization. As one alternative for giving the project a home, we can make it a part of one of the functional divisions of the firm. For functionally organized projects, the project is assigned to the functional unit that has the most interest in ensuring its success or can be most helpful in implementing it. As we noted in the case of the proposed MPM, more than one choice of a parent firm may exist. There are advantages and disadvantages of using functional elements of the parent organization as the administrative home for a project, assuming that one has chosen an appropriate function. The major advantages are: there is maximum flexibility in the use of staff. If the proper functional division has been chosen as the project's home, the division will be the primary administrative base for individuals with technical expertise in the fields relevant to the project. Experts can be temporarily assigned to the project, make the required contribution, and immediately be reassigned to their normal work. Individual experts can be utilized by many different projects. With a broad base of technical personnel available in the functional divisions, people can be switched back and forth between different projects with relative ease. Specialists in the division can be grouped to share knowledge and experience. Therefore, project team has access to whenever and whatever technical knowledge resides in the functional group. This depth of knowledge is a potential source of creative, synergetic solutions to technical problems. The functional division also serves as a base of technological continuity when individuals choose to leave the project and even the parent firm. Perhaps just as important as technological continuity is the procedural, administrative, and overall policy continuity that results when the project is maintained in a specific functional division of the parent firm. Finally, and not the least important, the functional division contains the normal path of advancement for individuals whose expertise is in the functional area. The project may be a source of glory for those who participate in its successful completion, but the functional field is their professional home and the focus of their professional growth and advancement. Just as there are advantages to housing the project in a functional area, there are also disadvantages. A primary disadvantage of this arrangement is that the client is not the focus of the activity in concern. The functional unit has its own work to do, which usually takes precedence over the work of the project, and hence over the interest of the clients. The functional division tends to be oriented towards the activities particular to its function. It is not usually problem oriented in the sense that a project should be successful. Occasionally, in functionally organized projects, no individual is given full responsibility for the project. This failure to pinpoint responsibility usually means that the project manager is made accountable for some parts of the project, but another person is made accountable for one or more other parts. Little imagination is required to forecast the lack of coordination and the chaos that results. The same reason that lead to lack of coordinated effort tend to make response to clients' needs slow and arduous. There are often several layers of management between the project and the client. There is a tendency to suboptimize the project. Project issues that are directly within the interest area of the functional home may be dealt with carefully, but those outside normal interest areas may be given short shrift. if not totally ignored. The motivation of people assigned to the project tends to be weak. The project is not in the mainstream of activity and interest, and some project team members may view service on the project as a professional detour. Such an organizational arrangement does not facilitate a holistic approach to the project. Complex technical projects, such as the development of jet transport aircraft or an emergency room in the hospital, simply cannot be well designed unless they are designed as a totality. No matter how good the intentions, no functional division can avoid focusing on its unique areas of interest. Cross divisional communication and sharing of knowledge is slow and difficult at best. This is the end of the lecture. Thank you.